Fermentation is a process wherein microorganisms carry out different chemical reactions to break down sugars and transforms it into a new product. This is a way to develop new products typically in foods and medicine. Microorganisms play a very vital role in fermentation, in which they are most involved in different processes in the fermentation. It is a way to preserve food and drinks without the use of refrigeration. When the sugar and starch is converted, it turns into alcohol and acids, which are known and act as natural preservatives for the food. It is also one of the reasons why fermented foods are salty, sour, and pungent. On this activity, we chose to make fermented apples. Now, let's begin and prepare to start the fermentation. Step 1. Prepare the ingredients. In this fermented food, you will be needing 3 apples, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder, juice of 1 lemon, and 1 tablespoon of salt. Step 2. Find a mason jar or container that can fit 3 apples that are sliced into chunks. Start heating water on a kettle. Once it boils, pour your hot water into the jars to sterilize it. Let it sit for at least 3 to 5 minutes. Once it's cool, use a clean paper towel to pat it dry and set it aside. Step 3. Prepare the brine. In a large bowl, put the 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon powder, juice of 1 lemon, and add the water. Whisk gently until all the ingredients are combined and set it aside. Step 4. For the apples. Peel off the skins of all the apples, then gently slice the side or the flesh. You need to avoid the core of the apple so the seeds will not be included. Slice the apples into chunks or to tour the side thickness. Keep the apple coarse and do not throw it away because you will be using it later as your fermentation weight. Step 5. Place your sliced apple chunks in your jar. Add the brine that we made earlier and make sure that all the apples are submerged in the solution. Get your apple coarse and put it in a plastic bag, then place it on the top of the sliced apples. This will serve as your fermentation weight and keeps your apples submerged in the brine. Step 6. Put a piece of plastic bag on top of the mouth of the jar before placing the lid and locking it. The plastic bag will serve as airlock lid that will prevent formation of mold or spoil your ferment. And lastly, step 7. Add the jar to the counter and make sure that it is out of direct sunlight. Let it ferment for at least 2 to 5 days at room temperature. Your ferment should be bubbly and with a hint of alcohol smell. Once it is fermented, you can now store it in a warm area of your fridge. This can last up to 1 month if there is no sign of spoilage like mold.
Apples are fruits that are rich in fiber, vitamin C, and various antioxidants. It also promotes weight loss and improved brain health. It can also be found everywhere and can have a lot of possible things to be done like fermentation. Apples have so many plantations that are located all around the world, which usually comes from different varieties. Did you know that the core of an apple contains probiotics, which helps and promote gut health because probiotics are the microorganisms that have benefits when consumed. Apples are well known as a good aid of probiotics. Fermentation in apples demonstrate lactofermentation, which is also known as the process of breaking down the sugars in foods, which forms lactic acids with the help of bacteria. These are most seen in fermented foods, which gives them a sour and acidic character profile. Contains vitamin C that helps to protect cells, boost the immune system, and lower blood pressure. Vitamin C is known to be essential vitamins due to the reason that our body can produce it. That's why we need a source that will provide it for our body. It also contains fiber that is known to be a carbohydrate that cannot be digested by our body, which means that once it is consumed, It will pass through our stomach and intestines undigested, which helps our digestive system clean and healthy due to regular bowel movement. Fermentation is one of the processes wherein foods are placed in an oxygen-free and salty environment to prevent the growth of bacteria. It is also a great way to preserve foods that can last up to months when stored properly. The texture of the foods may remain the same, but the contents of the food may vary due to the process of fermentations wherein sugars are converted to lactic acid.